I think it's time. Let's do this. What's going down, Vault Hunters? And we have a brand new patch. 1.08 comes into us fresh about 14 hours ago, give or take a few minutes. But we're gonna get into some fun facts and what that hot fix, and a really cool peek at what Randy's been tweeting about in next-gen Gearbox gaming. So let's go ahead and dive into the news, shall we? It's your boy MacGyver7th coming live with all the loot facts you want to go towards. And as you can see right over here as we first start in our dive into, the PlayStation isn't really giving a lot to look at. And unfortunately it just says bug. We can do better than that, right? No? Shall we? Well, 'twas the night before Christmas as we dived into the patches, and you can kind of see that I have a few informational points. I'm playing with the new Mayhem weekly events, is what they're kind of pushing out towards, so you can kind of watch that in the background. But it introduces Moxie's heist of handsome jackpots. For also patch notes on top of what the December 12/12 came into, you can kind of see that there was a very good portion of what it addressed, where the reports to the Guardian ranks, the fast travel, Sanctuary 3, adding vending machines to the Skywell 27, including some of the supported DLC, which from what I heard adds an entire 13 to 14 minutes on board for as far as what ends up happening inside that situation. So as gameplay comes into, and we kind of see a lot of the cool events coming into the new content, you can see that is live now on December 19th, which will be coming into the situation for the added support of the situation, the new content. So understand that these are segmentable points of what we're going to be getting into for as far as the situations as we have the 12th and the 19th. So next week will be another fun update around of what they'll be getting situationable points. So as things get ready and they get down to stabilities, they addresses a few situations. And for all your computer heart's content, until the 31st, there is some really cool AMD collectible loot that you can get when you actually pick some. So they're making it really fun for everyone that's actually getting into the portion of having a little bit more swag as we get to more flair into there. But the addressing stabilities of what we have down below are reporting concerns for the grenade and the indicator wedge, the mini-map wedge, as well as the situation to report. The fixed crashes that are related to and occur with the echo menu, as well as the users attempting to load in the game after experiencing network errors. Console, for you and for us. The fixed rare crashes, which were sometimes only when split screen players would leave the party. Fixed another rare issue where sometimes it occurred in idle after 10 minutes. Now this one's for the Xbox fans exclusively, and fixed the crashes where sometimes occurred with the split screen on Xbox One. I feel like that was also grouped in the other one with consoles. Maybe they just forgot to put PlayStation, or that's what the console is. Anyways, moving on. PC, important network performance issues that were basically stabilized on the PC that prevent hitching related to friends and or networks in games. As we get down to the portion a little bit more of the UI, we'll bring this in a little bit more friendly as we scroll down. The improvements roll in at a very big conundrum point, as we can kind of roll back the AMD news right about there, so all those other people just joining the situation. Not just an annoying billboard. The improved inventory menu performance, as well as the Open Guardian rank. PC adds a support inside of the immediate swap between the glyphs types as utilizing it in the audio detect, and adds a new bird icon in the Mayhem mode, the icon on the HUD. Added the missing Japanese characters. Issues were all functionally could sometimes be lost when pressing the option button within the mode menu before starting the game. Who would have knew? Addressing the issues where Mayhem mode's icon HUD would sometimes become inconsistent when adjusting difficulties. Also, the thumbnails locked in the state could sometimes become incorrect when viewing in the inventory menu. Also addressing the machine thumbnails that could sometimes be incorrect. On top of the photo mode settings that could sometimes scroll onto the screen. PC addressing the PC text in the UI sometimes disappearing after being opened for the second time on the cinematics. On top of that situation, we come down to With the UI being addressed inside of the PC text for the cinematics, it also addressed the friendly profile icons and sometimes not showing up correctly on the echo menu. And an address where characters' icons sometimes failed to prevent when viewing the friend's mail prompt in the mail menu. That's also happened to me a few times actually. I didn't know that was a bug, I just thought that was me not getting it. Good to know. I can use that as an excuse now. Blow up. But all ridiculous enough aside, we're getting back to the news. As we get down to the portion inside of the addressing and the issues for as far as the client could sometimes lose functionality when opening the echo menu after exiting the vehicle. Two consoles, which could be exclusively PlayStation 4 if we follow the trend, if it says Xbox after this, that address issues where sometimes the item cards sometimes would appear cut off when viewing the items in chests. I'd like to take a moment to say thanks so far for joining us inside this mid portion of where we're going for as far as the patches. But if you are having any bugs with the installation or anything past that, definitely drop a comment down below. I'd like to hear what's going on with Gearbox and all that other fun stuff. But let's go ahead and hop back into the web referenceable news. And you can see right over here what we have directly for the consoles, and inside the other portions of what we have is the address clients for as far as the takedown and the Maliwan black sites would sometimes have the Spectre mode buttons prompted, and an issue in the performance that could sometimes negatively impact by pressing the input of two different sources with Spectres during the takedowns at the Black Maliwan site. Also addresses the issues with the primary and secondary stats and sometimes the overlap legendary artifact items. On top of that, it addresses the issues where some multiple notifications were sometimes being triggered after having completed the challenges. On top of that, some missions that they address on top of the situation, which is addressing and perceived the progression blocks and sometimes that occurred if players jumped before Clad did during the mission Swanbro, as well as the addressed in the progression of the block where the objects kill Ratch sometimes would update during the mission the family jewels. On top of the block during that mission in the in shadow of the starlight as well, making the list. On top of the progression blockers related to the traveling between the environments of, as well as the addressing portion of the concern where the waypoints would sometimes fail to appear when obtaining a mission for the environment that had been unlocked yet. As well as the reporting concern where the players would sometimes be unavailable to complete the fast travel zones and the progression with inside of the exploring cathedral of the twin gods, as well as the addressing multiple issues with the echo dialogue inside of the non-plane. And I don't know why, but I thought maybe it didn't catch Promethea when I said that last time, because I said it but I didn't see the audio go, but I listened to that and back later. Let's get back to the news as the gameplay comes into what they have fixed inside of the situation. In Borderlands news, we have the update for as far as the weapons inside of the wielding for the COV badass enemies inside of the bullet-based variations to cut down on the epic spamming. Or as far as the reported concerns and the Guardian ranks perks would sometimes be disabled for users had unlocked them. So, you know, if you had those situations that have already been unlocked, you are going to be okay. So, not leave a comment. Or is the concern where the enemies would sometimes deal excessive damage to the vehicle in true Vault Hunter mode, as well as the report concerns where the Spider King's enemies sometimes failed to launch their sticky projectiles or his tail when performing the web pull attack, as well as a reported concern when the enemies might not swap in a situation for as far as the situational point would go. That would not be really good if you want to come down to the concerning portion of the spawn of that swap not being for the warp and the anchor and the drop ship. Those are definitely, well, bad. But they concern that and they reported it. So the address concern hopefully will be addressed in this. situation 1 update. The quick breathers skills was sometimes not functioning, as well as Zane and his skills would sometimes not award the player the shield restoration. So if you were having issues with these certain perks, it seems like the perk list is hitting the list for Zane as far as what the skills would be coming down to the situational point. So if you were having issues with Zane, they dialed them in like a lot. Same thing with Moe's. Seems like starting with Stainless Steel Bear going down, and you can see all the skill points for what's happening for Zane right there, which I have highlighted. And then let's see down Moe's, where they've gone in, they completely overhauled where the skill would sometimes not award the damage for as far as what would happen in the Iron Bear, as well as the Zane and the other skill that would not reward the proper size of the clip in the first clip of the weapon for the Digicone is spawned with. Moving back to Moe's, as you can kind of see the highlightable point where we entry inside of that situation for the ejected from the iron immediately after re-entering it. So you can actually have that hopefully off your checklist of no more annoyance, as well as the address concerns where the client camera would sometimes occasionally shutter and lose functionality after performing Mirror's downfall, the skill into the killing volume, as well as the situational point of Amir's skill where you can actually see that sometimes creates the actual ricochet of the bullets when firing the legendary Maoan shotgun Project. So as you come down to the portion and where the concerns in the shield that would sometimes be blocking the rounds from the legendary Maoan shotgun projectile questions. So the invulnerability is something that they definitely did address inside of that situation of the last one. Now let's go down to the general fixes as we get closer to the end of this physical patch. Inside the buffered, as where it dropped inside of the tail boss, the slaughter bosses and the rare spawn and the enemies, as well as the added functionality to the skipped to the intro movie once the video has fully loaded, as well as the added vending machines they mentioned before inside of Skywall, and then disabled access to the photo mode while flying for your life. But probably be fighting for your life, but it depends. Flight or fight, you choose. And situational points where they've changed and addressed the situation that it's come into gameplay, or as far as the default mel error and the encompassed issues, as PCs inside the situational point of where they've come into were the volume playing in the hi-fi mode on PC, as well as the crew quarters has now correctly used the rotation of the hook. The optimization challenges preventing hitching when saving, as well as the optimization challenges and the percentage and the confusion to occur when over multiple frames preventing hitching, as well as the fixed reports that come down to where the save gain sometimes would bloat and duplicate challenge data, as well as the save data that could sometimes have a mirror leak, on top of the game not starting up correctly in the right resolutions, and sometimes not using within the full screen for the display scaling. For as far as the concern where the players sometimes remain invisible after respawning, and the situational point of a report concern and where the client could sometimes not see Sanctuary 3 fast travel station until they were already in the map. Or as far as the D-pad, what they've changed and sometimes not changing the selection in the Sanctuary 3 fast travel list, the situational point of the reported concern, the client might not unlock the fast travel station inside of the after using fast forward feature. On top of the concerns, the environment sometimes appearing unfortunately bright due to the time of day error, and on top of that situation, the concern where the vehicle's boost effects would sometimes appear, as well as the portions of the immune for the text pop for as far as German, and going into the reports of where they have the some strings for the keys blinding menus are not locatable. And the situational point on the report of the concerns where the badass event icon sometimes show up when the event already deactivated, when utilizing the EchoCast Twitch extension, when utilizing the fixed concern report, the cryo department, the post sometimes did not characterably when in Ragdoll, so it did not match at all when it was. Ragdoll. Now, a few console fixes. What we got down to is reports and the concerns and the custom ways inside of the hinted text when sometimes appearing in the zone map and not currently in the environable in the console, as well as the concerns as the photo mode filter sometimes not working when properly in HDR. Fix the concerns for as far as the Vault Hunter profile card sometimes didn't pull the located data in the split screen and caused mismatch prevention. Fix the reported the concerns where the clients would sometimes see an unresponsive black screen after accepting the invite during the intro movie, as well as the PC fix that they have where the Vault Hunter profile card in the Epic Games Store is not showing correctly. That is pretty much all the news that I have, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point, I'll say thank you very much for joining. You can like, share, and subscribe. Helps with the creators apps. And if you're new to the network and you subscribe, who knows? Maybe if you subscribe today, I'll have a right after that. Barrel aged so you don't peace. Cookies and sweets are awesome. Golden. Yeah. Alright, everyone. You have a nice day in the Borderlands. Vault Hunters. Go get that loot, get that Christmas swag, and drop a comment down below. What's the most epic Peakless loot you've had? And happy holidays, everyone. Keep safe, have fun, and do a lot of awesome things. And, well, talk about it. I'll see you guys and gals in the near future for more Borderlands news. And there should be some, I believe on the screen already, I should have already popped it, with some perma keys that I had for shift codes on top of some other things for Borderlands Game of the Year Edition 2 and currently you can kind of get that should be there if you haven't already used them. If you have used them, then yeah, it's just a little bit of time you kind of check to see if not, who knows. Yep, these. But I do patch notes for fun, but I also do gold shift code uploads when I get the alerts when they go live too as well. Everyone, stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys and gals.